Assalamu alaikum. Hi, Oracle Reiki Spiritual Healer. And today we are talking about some of our spirituality that they have put in some of the movies. And specifically, I wanted to talk to you about the Harry Potter movies. And in a lot of their movies, they have put the spirituality into these types of movies and giving it to children, or labeled it for children. And once you have an understanding of the spiritual realm, then we also understand that there are, entities that are attached to these types of movies that can siphon your energy and siphon the energy of your family when you let these types of attacks, when you let these types of attachments, entertainment, come into your home with your family or through your children. You will become under attack because they have sent frequencies that you cannot see. So these are some of the negative entities that we're going to discuss in these movies, and we're going to discuss some of our spirituality. So let's go ahead and get started. So in this Harry Potter movie, we have mugwort, and nobody knows what a mugwort is, but it is a perennial. It is an herb used to banish negative energy. And so, when I saw these movies, and when I saw, some of my younger siblings, watching these types of movies and reading the books, then I understood that they had taken our spirituality and put it in these movies and put it in these books for entertainment. The spirits that they have in these Harry Potter, books and movies, if you knew what a lot of these things are, you would not, let your children watch these types of movies, because it can definitely be attached to you. So let's read what mugwort is. And this is AI overview. This is a mugwort. This is Artemisia vulgaris, is a herb with rich historical use in folklore and spiritual practices, primarily associated with protection, divination, and enhancing intuition and dreams. Its spiritual benefit centers on bridging the gap between the conscious mind and the spiritual realm. So when we have these types of spirituality put in movies, but yet and still there are different types of ideas put in this movie, in the Harry Potter movies, that are demonic. It's not about spirituality. When you have so much spirituality in here, the entire movie is dark, and spirituality is not dark. Spirituality is healing, cleansing, protection, and banishing these types of entities that they've shown in this movie. And you have, this one, deity who is disfigured, that has been using spells. You got a Voldemort that's using spells. This is, the Lucifer, the Luciferians of the movie. And you have his followers. You have these people, these children, these young children, and some of them are spirits in this school who is being taught magic. And let's call a spade a spade. So you have these children who will be watching these movies and will try to be like these persons, who will see these types of images in this movie, and they want to cast a spell on someone. They want to, use spells and rituals in order to enhance their life, in order to better their life. And a lot of them do not know that this is a dark movie. This is a dark ritual, and these are dark entities attached to the movie. It is not for entertainment purposes for children. And you will have the understanding that when they start to research these types of entities, and it's done for this purpose, for these young children with their mind to research these types of people, this type of magic online, and become intertwined with dark magic without any guidance. And you're not supposed to be involved with magic. So therefore, that you will have a dark entity that is attached to you because you did not pray against these types of entities. You do not know how to use a lot of the things that they have put online. So that is when the dark entities of this movie in the Harry Potter movies become real for you, the Dementors. And that is the attack upon your mind, the siphoning of the mental energy, the siphoning of your energy. And if you look at the movies, you will have, these dark energies that's hovering over people that can siphon their energy until they are unalive, until they have passed on. So this is what these movies are letting us know, that these entities that they have attached to these movies, to the world, to the way that people want you to let your children look at magic, black magic, look at voodoo. And there are other herbs in this type of movie. So again, I have been correcting things that have been on the internet. I have been correcting, a lot of these attacks up on our children with these movies, what's on the internet, what's in these video games, and why they will become dementia. And we're looking at these root words. Let's take a look at what is the meaning of Dementors. We just want to make sure that we are in alignment with what God is teaching us and showing us about why they put these types of spirits and name them as such in these types of movies. So when you are demented, it is you're mentally disturbed, showing irrational behavior, or literally suffering from dementia. Dementia is something when you are getting older, or when you've gotten older, that is a disease of the brain where you are forgetful. So these types of entities want to siphon the energy from your brain. And I cannot say this enough, that this is why we have to detach, and use and be able to use the internet and other things in a good way. Just like the video games, a lot of young men are addicted to video games when they should be using that as a simulation in order to defend themselves, in order to teach defense in their community, in their home, and it should be limited, just like with the TV and the internet. So, I wanted to just bring this to your attention. Some of the spirituality that is in these movies that has been siphoning the energy off of our families, and it should be limited along with the internet and video games and television. And we should monitor what our children are actually watching and what's coming into our homes, because a lot of these movies have demonic attachments. So I hope you received this message. Please like, share, and subscribe to me. Please book your one-on-one sessions with me. Like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment, or you can donate to my channel. book your one-on-one sessions with me. I'm High Oracle Reiki Spiritual Healer. Assalamu alaikum.